Hey, how's it going? This time around, I'm going to be taking a crack at drawing Telepurte's angel character Chloe. If you're familiar with the character, you'll know what kind of hijinks she gets up to. She's got a pretty killer design that goes right along with her personality. I think how her split halo ends in those two spikes at the back can really double as like a set of horns almost. And sometimes when they do spin around the front, they do pretty much look like that. I think Telepurte did a really good job with that decision. Having her two natures combined in one simple shape like that was a really great design choice, I think. Now for my drawing of her, alongside just translating her into my style, I'm gonna really lean into the fact that she's a supernatural being. So from the outset, I'm gonna set up my sketch so that later on I can really go crazy with the lighting effects. And really make sure she's emanating that ethereal light that I'm going after. And really try to give her those otherworldly qualities. So with that all said, let's get to it. I was thinking about giving her a little bit of extra accessories here, but I decided just to go with the classic design. You can see the little necklace and the armbands that I had going on there. I was initially planning to have her with her arms tucked behind her back so you can't see them at all, but it was looking a little bit weird, so I decided to have her forearms flexed out a bit so you can see her hands. This is going to be a little bit of experimental redesign here. I'm not sure how this is going to look in the end, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try tinting the halo with a little bit of green alongside the yellow and see how that turns out, just to serve as like a mediating color between her dress and her hair. A lot of times when it comes to doing skin that I really want to look glowy and smooth, I'll make a copy of all the shading layers and then isolate the part of the shading that's covering the skin. And I'll run it through a little bit of a Gaussian blur, just to blend all of my strokes together. Then I'll take that multiply layer and put it over the original shading. Then I'll play with the opacity of the sharp shading layers and the blur shading layer until I find that right mix I was looking for between blurred and sharp shadows. So the gradient looks a bit more gradual but not entirely blurred out. Here's one of the pretty fun parts I was looking forward to doing all the lighting effects in the halo. Usually when I've seen colored fan art of her halo is usually like a solid piece of gold or brass, or at least that's kind of what it looks like. But as I said in the beginning, I really wanted to make her look ethereal in this version. So I'm really trying to get a see-through effect on it, like it's almost a piece of glass. And I'm gonna add these evenly spaced lights inside, just to give it that sense of power and energy emanating from within. I'm gonna add some runes along the top and bottom of the halo as well, just to give it an air of mystery, kinda. Now I'm not too sure about how her facial expression's looking, so I'm going to do a few rounds with the liquefy tool at the end here just to see if I can correct some of that. Well, would you look at that? She cleaned up pretty alright. Just look at that halo and look at that hair. When I get stuff to glow like that, I can't help but just pat myself on the back just a little bit. But to be real, I was getting a little bit nervous halfway through the process. If you were paying attention at the end there a bit, I was freaking out just a little bit about the face. I had waited way too late with the initial sketch to do the horizontal flip to check for any skew or wonkiness in her face. But thank goodness for the liquefy tool. That was a real lifesaver this time. So yeah, I just used that to tweak and go back and forth with her face just to make sure everything was lining up okay and she didn't look all messed up. But yeah, I'd say the end product is, it's pretty good. As I said, I'm pretty happy with the hair and the halo, how much they shine. The eyes are looking pretty good, they're looking pretty focused, like they're looking out towards us. And I'm pretty happy with the shading on her skin, especially her face and her hands. The chest could have done with a little bit more work to get the highlights in the right place to get that volume correct. But yeah, otherwise this went pretty okay. Well, I hope that was informative for you guys. It was a bit more of a chaotic draw than usual, but all's well that ends well with this one. If you want access to the full Chloe picture, it'll be at my Deviantart that I'll link down below. And if you guys have any suggestions for characters I could do in future videos, just give them a shout out in the comments. And that's about it for now. This has been Aranum, and I'll see you in the next one.